episode 62 of The Beardcaster. My name is Scott Sikora, and I am The Beardcaster. Welcome to a podcast all about beards, mustaches, and the bearded culture with all the fun things that go along with it. It's about the facial hair lifestyle we live, from our daily lives in the world around us and how we deal with life. So please join me, Scott, as I share the stories about these people and hear how they are using their facial hair to do great and fun things. Welcome to the Beardcaster podcast. Once again, I am Scott Sikora, your host, the hostess with the mostest. Great episode today. I want to thank my super awesome guest, Angela, for being, I'm doing numbers there, but for being a super awesome guest and talking to me all about the Come and Shave at 12, which is happening in Austin, Texas this coming weekend on February 24th. And it was awesome. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun stuff. We talked about, of course, the Austin Facial Hair Club, which if you don't know who they are, then you are dumb. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, and we talked about her involvement in Whiskerina and how she kind of got pulled into it. I don't think it was anything she was really planning on doing, but it was a really interesting story. And we talked about her jewelry, and we also did a really fun game at the very end. So make sure you stick all the way to the end of the interview. It was a hoot hollering time, at least for me. I don't know if she thought it was funny or not. Maybe she was just laughing at me to make me feel okay about it, but it was a good time. So please stick around. And for more information about myself, you can go to thebeardcaster.com. There's links to all my social media there. There's different ways to subscribe, to stream, any way you would like to find the podcast. There's all sorts of weird information there. So please feel free to check out that. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email me, scott@thebeardcaster.com. And before we get into the interview, two quick things. You can go to roughneckbeardcompany.com and use the promo code TheBeardcaster to get 20% off your next purchase. So thank you, Brad, for doing that. So go to roughneckbeardcompany.com. Once again, promo code TheBeardcaster. And last but not least, I just came up with a coupon code for Lyft. So any of you people who might be going to a competition this weekend, next weekend, weekends after that, if you download the Lyft app, make sure you use the promo code. Now that I'm giving you this one, the promo code is YourMom6969. I know it's a good one, and I know you won't forget that one. But use that to get $5 off your first ride with Lyft. So make sure you download the app and make sure you use the promo code YourMom6969, and I'm going to help you get money off. And if you already do have the Lyft app, make sure you use that promo code. It may help you get some money off your current ride. So, but yeah, check it out. I was trying to figure out, like, how can I help the people out when I'm not there? I mean, other than entertaining you while you're on your way there or on your way home, I want to make sure you get back to your hotel or get to the venue in a safe manner. And, when we were in Austin, we used all these ride-sharing things. And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, how can I give back to you guys? So hopefully, if you guys do use the Lyft app, make sure you use promo code YourMom6969 and get some savings. So thank you for checking that out. But let's get into this interview with Angela, and we'll talk to you on the backside. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you shortly. And action. All right, so we'll just jump right into this. And why don't you tell me who you are, where you're from, and just what club you belong to?
Hello, my name is Angela Alba-DiRico. I'm a member of the Austin Facial Hair Club here in Austin, Texas.
I was actually going to introduce you as Dolly Parton.
Oh, okay. Salvador Dali.
Yeah. And that's what I remember from when I was at the down there this summer. Was I just always remember, like, looking at you when you were walking around. I'm like, I didn't get it. I felt really stupid. And I did not get it. And then as I was like looking at you standing on stage, I'm like, why? What is the significance of your costume and the mustache? And then finally, it all hit me like a ton of bricks, and I felt like an idiot.
It was a pretty good mashup, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good because I mean the outfit was great. Your wig was fantastic. It was humongous.
Yes.
Because you have long, straight, jet black hair, and then you were wearing this humongous, like curly, like blonde wig, and it just you looked really good though, and the mustache was really nice.
Thank you very much.
So now, as we were talking, well, we didn't meet, but I did see you down there a lot because I was there the whole weekend, and you were, of course, part of the Austin Facial Hair Club, which was the club that put on the 2017 World Beard and Mustache Championship, which was in Austin, Texas. And that was my first time in Austin, and I love it. And I really feel bad that I can't come down for Come and Shave at 12. And everyone's made me feel bad about it. Brian Nelson's made me feel bad about it. Some of the judges have made me feel bad about it. So,
oh, no.
So you can join in the fun if you want, and you can make me feel bad about it too, because I'm sure it's probably going to be nice and warm down there, and it's going to be freezing up here in Ohio. And I'm going to be like glued to Facebook watching everyone have a wonderful time down there. And yeah, so tell me, what is how did you get involved in the whole facial hair scene?
So, with my business, I was a vendor at the Texas Roller Derby, and I would always set up my booth right next to the Austin Facial Hair Club, and got to meet a bunch of different people doing that back in 2011. And I've been friends with Brian Nelson since I was out of high school, about 96, 97. So I kind of knew about it from that.
Oh, so you've known him for a long time.
Yes.
Hence why he had to say that you were probably one of the most sweetest people that he's ever met in his entire life. So, aww. Yeah, I was like, wow. I'm like, that's a pretty good statement there. So I'm like, now I got excited because I'm like, wow, I get to talk to the sweetest person in the world. And every time we've corresponded, you've been nothing but like just so kind, and like it just, I don't know. You have something about you that's just really kind of exciting. I don't know.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. So now, as you were growing up, was your like parents or like grandparents, aunts and uncles, did any of them like sport facial hair and stuff like that? Was that something that was around you your whole life, or was that something like when you met Brian and all those guys, was that like a whole new world to you?
So my father has always had a mustache. There was one time where he shaved it, and my mom and I were like, this is just too weird. And so she asked him to, grow it back out again. And
never cut it off again?
Never again. And he's going to be 70 this year. So it's pretty, his mustache is pretty great. And some of his brothers have beards. So it wasn't completely foreign, other than the fact of such lengthy beards. When I first got into the club and seeing, how long some of these beards can grow, I was just blown away by that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a lot of people's story of like, even of their fathers, because it was the same way with myself and my sister. My sister wanted my dad to shave his beard off, and man, I must have been like 3 or 4. And yeah, it traumatized the whole family, and it was like, Dad never, ever, ever shave again. So he hasn't, and he's also just turned 70, and he's always had a beard.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know why it just becomes so scarring for people to like, to have Dad shave.
Yeah.
I mean, I even have like some friends that like their dads, like as we were all growing up, and they always had these really nice mustaches, and then I guess for some odd reason when they hit their 40s, they decided to shave them off, and we're talking 20, 30 years later, I still can't look at them the same way. Like, they're still clean shaven. I'm like, you have to have that mustache. That's how I always remember you, and you just look weird to me all the time. Something about dads and mustaches.
I know. I feel like they go together.
Yeah, they wear them so well, and when they don't have them, they're just some guy that just is weird.
Yes.
Okay, so now as you're vending at these events and stuff, and you start becoming friendly with the Austin Facial Hair Club, how did you end up getting like involved in the club? And at this point, had you have met your husband? Was he a bearded fella? How does that all fall into place?
So during this time, my husband and I, we had been going to roller derby since its rebirth here in Austin, and his shop was a sponsor of roller derby, and so we were always involved in going with that. And then he became involved with helping out with building the track because it's a bank track, not a flat track, and just being on the whole production end of that. And everyone was just like, so how come you're not selling your jewelry here? So that's when I started selling jewelry and meeting up with, all the beardos and then inviting us to come and attend meetings and to come and come and shave it. And so that's how I first got involved with it.
And then, so now you're an official card carrying member.
Yes. So in 2015, I became a official coin holder. So in our club, we have 90 coin holding members, which is pretty amazing that we have so many members.
Yeah.
And 21 of those members are females.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, geez, you guys definitely win the prize for, I think, the biggest club in the country. I mean, even just to see like at Worlds when they had the whole club come out and stand on the risers and everything, it's just like people just kept coming out and I'm going, oh my Lord. I'm like, we have like maybe like 20 or 30 people in our club up in Cleveland. And it's like, I think that's a lot. You're like 3-4 times bigger than our club. And, that's really cool though. I mean, you guys are definitely like, there's something special about the Austin Facial Hair Club. I mean, you guys are so like such a tight knit group of people. And I mean, well-oiled machine with everything you guys do. I mean, all the events you guys do and just the way you guys presented the Worlds last year and just how I hear how great the Come and Shave It events are every year. Now, how did you get twisted into doing Whiskerina? Or was that just like you saw it and you're like, I got to do that?
Well, it was kind of, let's see, so I first got involved where I was doing a pop-up market and I was selling my jewelry at a bar, and a friend of mine introduced me to another friend of hers who was familiar with Austin Facial Hair Club, and they were talking to me about women and bearding, and they wanted to know what I would look like with the beard. So this lady just asked if she could braid me a beard, and I said yes. And then a picture got snapped of me, and it got put on social media. And then by that weekend, I was on Board Panda, where people were voting on beards, and it just became like this really bizarre, crazy thing. And I was like, yeah, I need to do this. The guys kept telling me that they wanted me to compete, and I hadn't done it yet. So my actual first competition was at Come and Shave It 10 in 2016. And
what was that beard or the concoction that you came up with?
So that one was with all my long hair that was braided into a beard that had all these little fun loops in it. and I had like a little charm dangle that I put in, I fell in love with the whole camaraderie of it, where my girlfriends got together. They were super excited for me, and I had 4 of them like helping me braid my beard. I had a friend that made me a special dress. It was another friend that was like, "Oh, I want to do your makeup." It was just a really, really fun like bonding moment with my girlfriends getting ready for this first competition.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a big production, but yeah, I could imagine like it's like that playing dress up kind of when you're like a little girl and you're always like, putting a fancy little dress on, doing your makeup and doing each other's nails and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just getting into the character of it. So it was kind of a combination of me having a beard with, an Austin Facial Hair Club trucker hat, and a friend did this dress with like spikes on it for me. And I also felt very like bold in it, and comfortable in it, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's like living a different persona, like being able to like a superhero almost. You put like the costume on and it makes you like super strong or something.
Yes.
So how did you do for your first experience there?
So my first one, I took second, and
Ooh, congratulations.
So that was really exciting, and I got a belt buckle, and a lot of people were very envious of that belt buckle, and teased me about how small I am in comparison to the belt buckle.
Yeah, it's probably like me wearing like a garbage can lid. Well, that's cool. So then obviously you competed at Come and Shave at 11.
Yes. No, actually, wait.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put words in your mouth.
Oh my gosh, you got me so confused.
Making accusations that I can't stand behind.
So, I competed last minute at Come and Shave at 11. So I was there initially helping out, helping run the event, getting everything set up for it. And one of our local sponsors, who is a barbershop, they were really shocked to not see me in a beard. And so they were like, "We have to braid you one really quick." And I said, okay. And so we were upstairs in the green room, and she braided me one really quick, and I put on a mustache, and then I went out on stage.
Oh, wow. And how did you do for that one?
That one, I tied for third.
Oh, well, that's good. So your first 2 experiences, you second and third. That's pretty cool.
Yes, and I also went to Fort Collins, and I took second place there in 2016 also, and then I got to go to the Denver comp in 2016 as well.
That's cool. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, because have you traveled outside of Texas to compete? So you just answered a question I wasn't going to ask.
Oh, I'm sorry to jump ahead.
Hey, no, that's quite all right. That's what you're here to do, because you were just kind of going along with it, and you must have just known what I was going to ask you. So how did you do in Fort Collins in Denver?
In Fort Collins, I took second. I'm sorry,
Ooh.
And in Denver, I think. I don't recall where I actually placed in Denver. I'll have to look that one up. But I didn't make the podium. Okay.
Well, you're not, as everyone's learned, not every time are you going to take a top 3. So it's just all part of the fun. Everyone has to have a chance to come in first, second, and third.
Yes. And I never even imagined like ever reaching the podium. I just thought it was just, all in fun. And then it was a big surprise the first time that I did.
Yeah. So then we get to Worlds last year, and Dolly Parton walks out on stage. How did you do at Worlds?
At Worlds, I took second in realistic mustache, and that was such an amazing experience for me because I was the first woman to step onto the stage to compete.
Wow.
So yes, I had all these little butterflies like just going through me, and rainbows were shooting out. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I did not. But now that you mention it, if I look back through some of my pictures I took, maybe I'll see them beaming out of you. Wow. Well, that's pretty awesome. I mean, for somebody to have just started literally within the past like 2 or 3 years to go from, really not being interested into it to doing it and then, or actually kind of falling into it and then coming in second in the world in your category. I mean, that's a pretty awesome feat and accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome so very much. So now we come to we're coming into Come and Shave at 12, which is the not the 11th or 10th time, but the 12th time you guys have had this competition, and this is, according to what I had heard with the interview with Jackie and Brian earlier today, that this is probably one of the biggest competitions in the United States, if not the biggest competition in the United States. Everyone and their mom are going to it, except for my mom and me, because I'm a loser. But so tell me a little bit about what to expect with Come and Shave at 12 this year.
Yes, so Come and Shave at 12 is going to be super exciting. It is presented this year by Tried and True Barber and Tattoo. This year we will have 14 categories, and we also have a few special awards in there. So it's just an exciting little secret.
Is one of those awards for the best person that didn't come to the competition because they suck? Because I'd like to nominate myself for that award.
I will put you down for that.
All right.
I will see what I can do to make that award happen.
Okay. That, it would almost make me feel like I was there, but not really though. Oh, that's cool. So usually, or you've in the past had the event at the Tomahawk, correct?
At the Mohawk.
Mohawk. I knew it was a hawk, some kind of hawk, not an eagle, a hawk. But anyways, and now this year you guys have moved it to a different venue.
Correct. So this year we will be at Come and Take It Live, which is off of Riverside Drive.
Oh, that's where I thought. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Austin and any of the streets down there. So why the change of venue this year?
The change of venue happened because the Mohawk was already previously booked with some amazing live music that evening.
Hanson?
Yes, Hanson, because they were discovered here in Austin during South by Southwest.
Hence why I would say Hanson. Like, I know this stuff, man. I'm a fountain of knowledge.
I don't really know who's playing that evening, but it was already booked, and we got this other new wonderful venue.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. And one of the things that I heard Jackie say earlier today when I saw his interview was that another thing that kind of played into factor too was, I mean, it's more of like an indoor-outdoor venue, and when you have like, the weather being so extreme down there in February, sometimes it could be really warm, and the heat and stuff will, being outside with a styled beard or, a freestyle beard, mustache, or whatever, that kind of plays havoc on getting the hold to stay and stuff like that too. So keeping it all indoors is probably better off.
Yes. Yes, it's really interesting to see people the first time come to Austin and then compete and have that worry from the humidity here. So I think this time it'll help with it being all indoors.
Yeah. Now, as you said, you had 14 categories, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you guys have any like specific category that's just for your event? Like usually events will have like that one extra category that kind of has something to do with their event or their club or something like that. Do you guys have like a specific Austin Facial Hair Club, like custom category for your event this year?
This year, I don't say we have anything specific or custom.
Well, let me interject. You could have a custom category for the best beard that didn't show up because they're a loser, and I nominate myself for that one.
Okay. We have that. I know we'd break up like the full beard over, that's over a foot and then over 2 feet, which some clubs don't do. And then we also do a partial beard freestyle. And then for our Whiskerina categories, we have them also labeled as craft, natural, and craft fantasy. So if men that don't have facial hair that want to participate, they can, and it's not a gender bias category.
That's really cool. And I noticed you guys had done that at Worlds too, where there was a male out there with you, with the girls, and I was like, wow, like I was kind of like taken aback by that. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. But then as I remember talking to Brian, he had said that that's why, because it should be open to anyone who wants to do a creative beard.
Yes, I definitely feel that way. And then I know some men that do have beards that sometimes say, "Oh, I wish I could make something." And I think, why don't you?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Build something and compete against us.
Yeah. Now, who are the judges for this event? I know who they are, and they're really awesome, but why don't you tell me who they are and tell everyone that might be listening, who are the judges for this event, Come and Shave at 12?
So this year we have 5 world champion judges.
What? How did you guys manage to do that?
We're...
people.
We know people. People love us. We love people. That sort of situation. So we have Alice Jelly out of Bath, UK, who is the world champion in creative beard.
Cool.
We have Jackie Lynn Ellison from Austin, Texas, who is the world champion our 2-time world champion in imperial mustache.
His mustache is so beautiful.
It's amazing. It's very, very amazing. We also have Angela Webb from San Francisco, California, who is the world champion in realistic mustache.
Ooh.
You might know her as Incredibeard's wife.
Oh, yes.
We have Aaron Johnston out of Aiken, South Carolina, who is the
never heard
champion.
Of him.
Never?
No, he's nothing. He's a nobody. I don't know why you guys are having him as a judge.
And we also have MJ Johnson from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who is the world champion in cheek beard freestyle.
He's just the world champion all around. He's just a winner everywhere.
I know. Did you see his clip on the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I just interviewed him a few weeks ago. We did a fun little interview together, and it was called Beard Beefs, and it was all about the things that we dislike about our beards. So it was a fun little interview I did with him. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. And to round out everything, we also have Jeffrey Mustache, a world champion Hungarian mustache, current title holder from LA, California, who's going to be our photographer, our official photographer for the evening.
Wow. Jeez, you guys are really brought out all the guns. You guys are trying to outdo yourself from last year.
And our host for the evening, our MC, is Paul Hendricks, who was the MC for WBMC 2017, who I know you interviewed. Yes,
Paul is awesome. And I want to tell you something. When you see him, I want you to give him a hug and tell him it's from me. And because I've been following along with him losing his dog last month, and it's just been, it just really tugs on my heartstrings about how just upset he is about it.
Oh, it was very tear-jerking for us too, because we're so close with him and his fur babies. But he recently adopted a new one, he's so adorable, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, puppies. We just adopted a puppy from our local shelter right before Christmas, and I'm so attached to this guy already. Like I can only imagine, like, if something happened to him. I was thinking about it today. I'm like, if something happened to Nico, I would just be devastated. I mean, I'm like, I've only known the dog for like a month and a half.
Oh,
I'm like, so, like, I've never been attached to a dog like I am with him. He's like, look, he's sitting on the couch right now looking at me. He's giving me puppy eyes. I'm waving to him. He's such a little creep, though. Now, what's going on the night before?
So the night before, we have a lot of fun events. So Thursday, February 22nd, we have a early beard welcome dinner at Austin Land and Cattle Company, which is this. I am not a meat eater, but everyone tells me that is a carnivore. That they have the best steaks in Austin. And for a steakhouse, which I have eaten there, they have an amazing vegetarian selection. And if you go in and you tell them that you're a vegetarian or vegan, they will cater to that, which it doesn't happen very often at most steakhouses. And it's just a really great local restaurant here in town. And then they're also going to have a food truck at Come and Shave It. And then Friday, February 23rd, we have a family lunch. Currently, we have it scheduled with Frank Hot Dog, which we have done in the past, but there's a possibility that we may have to use a backup restaurant because Frank's doors are currently closed at the moment.
Uh-oh.
Just because they had to close a store in San Antonio. So we're hoping things work out, but if not, we have another wonderful place. Then from there, after our family lunch, we have a happy hour social at 3 p.m. at the Yeti flagship store here in Austin, which is this new big store where you can purchase Yeti products, and you can also hang out and have drinks.
Like the coolers?
Yes, as in the coolers and little tumblers and all of that wonderful stuff.
Yeah, they're like $900 coolers that keep your food cold for like 18 weeks. Or something like that. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, I saw one of their coolers the other day. I'm like, $300 for like a cooler that's like the size of like a Happy Meal box. I'm like, really? I'm like, why are they so expensive? And the guy's like, because it'll keep stuff frozen for like weeks. I'm like, oh, well, where's this technology been for like the past 50 years?
Yeah.
All right. So after the Yeti store, the social hour at the Yeti store, then where's everyone going?
Then at 6 p.m., we have a scheduled pub crawl for the evening over on East 6th Street. And we have several fun stops with some of our favorite bars. And it's, always a great wild time. And then we hope everybody gets plenty of rest before Saturday, February 24th, for Come and Shave It. And doors open at noon, so people that haven't registered yet can get that done. But if they pre-register now, it's only $20, and registration at the door is $30.
Super. Now, do you guys have any like ballpark about how many registrers you've had so far? Like, what are you guys expecting?
Well, I'm not quite sure on the numbers of that. I think on our Facebook page, we have something like 200 people that are say that they're attending, but you never really quite know.
Oh, those are always pretty darn accurate.
And then 500 people are interested. So it'll be exciting to see what the turnout is for that.
It's probably going to be like 4,000 people there.
Yeah, that's what it should be every time.
Every time. Well, yeah, I mean, you guys it's Texas. Everything needs to be bigger and better there.
And so then our comp will start at 2 p.m. and then running till 10 p.m. And then we have an after party scheduled at Jackalope South Shore, which is across the street from the Come and Take It venue. And then we hope people will get rest again to join us for our celebration brunch on Sunday, February 25th. at Drinks Lounge, which is one of our favorite spots over off Cesar Chavez. And they are going to have a taco and nacho breakfast bar, which is really good. And they're known for their Bloody Marys as well. And then in the evening, so then people can take time to nap or whatever. And in the evening, we have to close out all of our festivities. We host an 80s dance party at a local nightclub called Elysium. And that is just a fun, crazy, riot-filled time with beardos who tend to end up shirtless at the end of the night.
Wow. Now, see, once again, you've just been that next person that's really, really just like ground in what a great time it's going to be down there, and that I'm not going to be there to enjoy it. Jeez. You're doing a really good job selling it. I'll tell you that much. You really want me to go really bad, because everything you've said has been sounds like the best time in the entire world, and I'm sure it will be. And everyone that will go will have a great time. And like I said, I'll just be sitting here twiddling my thumbs, going shit. I don't know, watching a basketball game probably. Oh, thank you. Yeah, send me some pictures, so it'll pretend like I'm there. I'll be like, oh yeah, and then that dumb Aaron Johnston guy, he'll probably be rubbing it in my face all night. He'll be taking pictures of himself, sending them to me all night. He's like, look at number one beard, natural goatee in the world. Look what I'm doing. That's what he does to me all the time. That's why he's a jerk. He's not really a jerk though. I love him. So, okay, now you've just laid out the most extravagant weekend ever. I mean, I am jealous of everyone that's going. It sounds like an awesome time, and I hope everyone has a good time. Are you going to be competing or not this year?
This year, I am helping. I'm with Brian Nelson. I'm a co-captain for this event, so I don't know if I have time to compete. Usually we like for if our members are volunteering not to compete.
That's always a good rule.
That is a great rule, but I was told that since I'm co-captaining, if I have carte blanche if I want to compete, but I don't think I'll have time for that.
Yeah, I know. Putting on an event and being part of behind the scenes is really. I mean, when you're telling me about all these really awesome things that are going on down there, I marvel at the fact that you guys can go for literally 4 days straight and no sleep and partying and just having such a great time. And then by the time Tuesday comes, I mean, everyone's going to have to recuperate for a week.
Yes, that's how it kind of always is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I was down there in September, it was 3 days of it just felt nonstop. I just I couldn't drink enough beer. It was just everywhere you went, it was someone was always handing you a beer, and we go to lunch and it's free beer. So everyone's trying to, and then the next place we go to, oh, more free beer. And it's I can only drink so much. And then it's it's 11 in the morning and you cop a buzz, and it's well, everything's going to 2 in the morning. So, how do you pace yourself for 3 days straight? But once again, everything's bigger and better in Texas, and you guys are professionals. So I'm not going to, question your methods. So as you've discussed a few times, when we first started, and literally how everything led into, you with bearding, the Bohemian Jewel is your jewelry company. And now let's talk a little bit about that, because I mean, we got Valentine's Day coming up, and of course that's probably a very busy time for you. And how did you get started in making jewelry?
So I started making jewelry with my Mima when I was about 8 years old. She was helping me design things to go with outfits that I liked to wear as a kid. And then I kind of always kept that up as a hobby. And I guess when I was in high school and college, I used to wear wigs a lot, and I needed matching jewelry for
Me
my
too.
wig.
Holy cow. Wow. I still wear wigs, but go ahead.
And so I would, I would be wearing a fuchsia wig, and I needed a crazy fuchsia colored necklace or something, and I couldn't find one in the store, so I made it. And then after I got out of undergrad, I decided to do some fun activities, and I got involved in a jewelry making course where I did silversmithing and goldsmithing, a bunch of fabrication and casting, and started working at a local bead store here in Austin. And then it just went from there. And I started my business in 2002, and I hand make, right now, mostly I'm doing costume jewelry, but I also do fine jewelry as well.
Oh, wow. So you've been doing this for a few years. So this is what you do then, right? I mean, is that your job?
That is my job.
Wow. Now, see, that's great that it's been, your company's been going strong for about 35 years. And I mean, you've been able to do something. What's so funny?
Yeah, 35 years I've been going.
I'm not good. My math is not good. All right. 2002, I can't carry numbers, but yeah, to find something that especially for you, like when you were little and you were doing something that was fun for you, and then to be able to, as an adult, parlay into your literally career. And I mean, that's super awesome. And like you said, you were going to the roller skating events and selling your jewelry there, and the beard events and stuff like that. Where else, I mean, do you set up and sell your jewelry at?
So I am primarily a what you call a pop-up shop. And so I pop up all over Austin, where I set up a little booth at different art markets, at bars, at different music events, at festivals.
Have you ever sold jewelry at a Slayer concert?
I have not yet. That's on my bucket.
Well, you better hurry up, because this is their last year.
I know.
I know. I was really excited because my wife asked me the other day. She's like, "Hey, do you want to go see Slayer?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, I'm going to buy us tickets to go see Slayer." And I'm like, I had to put my hand on her head. I'm like, "Are you feeling okay?" So yeah. So this will be. It's been at least. I think the last time I saw him was probably around the time you were starting your jewelry store. Probably it's been a long time since I've seen them, but yeah, it's such a shame.
I know, it's crazy.
So maybe I'll try to sell some of your jewelry at the Slayer show, but
yeah, I'll send you some,
like a little kit, and then I'll walk around and be like, "Jewelry for sale."
Great.
Okay, so you, not to interrupt again, but so you go to concerts and you sell it there. Where else?
At different bars here in town. And I'm having a brain fart, and I can't think about everywhere else I sell at.
The airport?
I haven't done the airport yet.
Oh, okay. Well, you can put that on your list. Get the people right as they're getting off the plane. How, to be like, "Hey, why don't you get something for your wife?"
Here, have it Austin style. Well, I've done a couple of hotel events and places where a lot of tourists go through, and they end up usually on their last day of, "Oh, I need to get so-and-so a gift from Austin, and this is perfect." So it always works out.
That's awesome. So now, other than finding you just popping up all over Austin, people can go to your website, which is bohemianjewel.com, correct?
Correct. And then a lot of people contact me through Instagram, which is Bohemian Jewel, or Facebook, where I tend to be a little bit better about posting pictures on social media versus my website, and I should be a little better at doing it on my website.
I don't know about that. I think people are tending to go more to social media to look at stuff, in my personal opinion and experience.
And that's how I've been feeling for doing this for a while too. So I think that's why I've backed off a little bit on my website. But no, you can, and then it has all my links to my social media on my website as well.
So I could go on there and be like, "Ooh, I like this bracelet, add to cart," and then you'll ship it to me in Cleveland?
I can do that.
Holy cow. That is great. I might just have to do that. I don't think I'll be able to get it in time for Valentine's Day, though, but I might have to order something for my wife from you. Maybe for Christmas or her birthday.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
And anyone else.
Special orders, too.
Oh, what do you mean special orders?
So I can custom make pieces. So if you see something that you out and about that you kind of like and you want it altered in a different way, I can do that. I can do different colored beads or gemstones, different types of metals. So you can have that special piece made.
Wow. My mind's working in 1,000 different ideas right now. I'll have to write them down and send them to you.
Oh, great.
So, all right. So I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. But I have one last thing I want to do with you, and it's a little fun game. Are you down for this?
I am down, but can I just really quickly?
No, you can't. Just back, really no.
Back to Come and Shave It.
You didn't say please.
Please and thank you.
Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to Come and Shave It 2012. Not 2000. Come and Shave It 12. See, you got me. You're messing with me.
I just wanted to briefly talk about our charity for
I wanted to talk about that too, and I was going to be like farm. Now let's talk about farm, and then something that you probably rudely interjected, and then you got me off track, and that's probably what happened and why we never talked about it.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So yes, let's talk about the charities or charity and the possibility for other charities that I heard about.
So this year we have chosen for this event to just do farm, which is the Farmers Assisting Returning Military. And they were founded by by I think maybe a couple of war vets here in Texas. And they became involved in local and organic food movement, and they found that farming to be like a very therapeutic and very grounding sort of lifestyle for themselves, and they wanted to help I think that was like around 2012, like their fellow vets that were leaving service to keep them from doing stuff like taking their own lives. And they just wanted to help prevent that sort of thing and help them find a way to integrate returning soldiers back into civilian life via the farm life. And so this great organization, which was one of our charities during the Worlds, we decided to partner with again this time around for Come and Shave It.
That's awesome. Yeah, they were, I took a few minutes to sit and talk with them when I was down in Austin in September, and they seem like a really awesome charity. They seem like they're doing some really cool things and helping all the veterans that are coming back from, service that are having a difficult time adjusting to real life again.
Yes. So we're just really happy to be able to have them as our charity, since that is one of the biggest things that we enjoy doing all of this facial hair stuff for.
Well, actually, I think that's really the only reason we do this facial hair stuff for in the events. I mean, really, that's what it boils down to, is it's always an event to help out a good cause. And, oh, by the way, we get to, have a contest and have some fun and drink some beers.
Yes.
That's the side effect, but it's always about the charity. I mean, and that's the biggest reason why I'm involved with it. That's why, and that's a lot of the reason why I started this podcast, was because I wanted to really kind of talk to the people that were trying to make a difference in their community and helping out, the people that need help in their community or wherever, by literally having a beard competition to raise money and raise awareness in their area.
Yes.
So, I had, as I had said earlier, I'd seen a I saw an interview with Jackie and Brian, and they were talking about this too, but they had also brought up the fact that you guys might be looking into trying to find a way to make some donations to Puerto Rico, correct?
Yes, we have been talking about that, so we'll see if that'll work out or not. And if not, then we talked about having an exclusive event to where we can do something to help benefit Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a really shitty situation down there still. I still can't believe that a lot of people just don't have power and stuff like that still.
I know it's so heartbreaking, and we have a member who is from Puerto Rico, and he has family members there. So that's has been really devastating. And then we had friends that were friends of Facial Hair Club who were moving there to open a bar, but couldn't because of the hurricane. And they just recently were able to move there, and so they're doing stuff with helping out with recovery and trying to help infrastructure again in that area. So, yes, we definitely do want to get involved in helping out with Puerto Rico.
Well, I hope that all works out for you guys.
Yeah. Well, if we can't do it for Come and Shave It, then we'll have a special event for maybe you'll get to come to that.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah, I'm going to try to make a special trip down there because it's just, there were so many things that there are so many things that I would love to see and do in Austin. And speaking of that, why don't you give me one of your favorite places in Austin? Like if I was going down there, where do I need to go? As per your suggestion.
So for the nerd in me, my favorite building in the state of Texas is the Texas State Capitol. I love the Greek architectural revival. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful. It's bigger than our nation's capital, which is pretty shocking at times. But if you're not as nerdy as me, I have another favorite place, which is the Cathedral of Junk, and it's here in South Austin, and it is a really cool art installation by not just an artist. He's considered a yardist, and his name is Vince Hanneman, and he creates this wonderful world of junk out of found objects, and it's a big giant cathedral in his backyard.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it really is fun, and he has these little games that you can play where you a little like I can't even think of what it's called at the moment. Little list of help me out. A scavenger hunt.
Oh, like geocaching stuff or something?
Kind of like that. He has a list of different things of like weird little things that you can find throughout his Cathedral of Junk.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. So if anyone by some chance lands in Austin and they're looking for something fun to do, those are Angela's suggestions for you. And if by some chance I can find a website for those, I will put a link to that stuff in the show notes. So if you do find yourself in Austin and you want to check it out, you can click on the link and it'll take you to more information and how to find those places.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Now are you ready for the game? Do we get all the fun, or do we get all the quote unquote work done here? Now we can have a fun time?
Yes. We weren't having fun already?
We were having lots of fun, but this is like the one thing I've been really waiting for.
Okay, I'm ready.
So I was trying to think of like something fun I could do, and I've never like played a game with someone before, but I came up with a fun game, and it's called Know Your Nelson.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 different famous Nelsons, and I'm going to ask you a question. You have to guess which Nelson it is. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this sounds hard. Okay.
Okay, so your choices are, and at any time you can ask me again, your choices are Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
Gunnar Nelson of the band Nelson.
Okay.
Brian Nelson of the Austin Facial Hair Club.
Okay.
Willie Nelson.
Okay.
And Craig T. Nelson. Do you know who that is?
Who is Craig T. Nelson?
Craig T. Nelson. He's an actor. He used to be on a TV show called Coach.
On Coach. Okay.
So I don't know, but he was in other stuff too. So, okay. So how this will go is I will ask you a question, and now, let's see. This one should be an easy one. I'll start off with an easy one. All right.
Okay.
Okay. This Nelson has 163 typewriters. Which Nelson am I?
That one's kind of tough, but I'm going to go with Brian Nelson.
You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. If I had a bell, but that was very good. Yes, you got that one right. Okay. Now, okay. Question 2. Mark Harmon, which is of the hit TV show NCIS, is this Nelson's uncle?
I would go with Gunner.
Holy cow. You got that one right too. You're 2 for 2. Good job. That was a tough one. That was a deep dive for that one. Okay. Here is a famous quote from this Nelson. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Which Nelson am I?
Nelson Mandela.
Very good. I know that does sound like something that Brian Nelson would say, but yes, you are correct. So you're 3 for 3. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here's another good one. This Nelson became the official spokesman of the Texas Roadhouse, which is a chain of steakhouses. Which Nelson am I?
That would be Willie Nelson.
Holy cow. You're doing way better than I thought you would. Very good. You know your Nelsons. Good for you. All right. Okay. Here's a good one. This Nelson plays the voice of Mr. Incredible in the hit children's movie, The Incredibles.
We'll go with Craig T. Nelson.
You will go with that, and you are correct.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Which Nelson am I after the rain?
After the rain. Gunner Nelson?
You are correct. I'm just laughing. I had so much fun like making this list up, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. This Nelson played Uncle Jesse in the movie adaptation of The Dukes of Hazzard.
That would be Willie Nelson?
Correct. Very good. Okay, next. Which Nelson said this? Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
Nelson Mandela.
Very good. Very good. You're batting 1,000 right now.
Woohoo!
Okay, which Nelson had a daughter that was sucked into a television in the movie Poltergeist?
Ooh, Craig T. Nelson.
That is correct. See, I was going to tell you when you asked me who Craig T. Nelson was, I was going to be like, yeah, he's the guy that was in Poltergeist. But then I would have ruined one of my questions, and I couldn't do that. Oh, my goodness. Okay, and now, which Nelson during the early 90s made a guest appearance in the music video for country singer Garth Brooks for the song We Shall Be Free?
What was that, Willie Nelson?
That is incorrect. You finally got one wrong. That was also Craig T.
Gunner?
Nelson. That was
Craig T. Nelson?
Yep.
I was thinking Brian Nelson, but I went with Willie.
I was going to say, well, as I look at all these questions, I'm like, Brian Nelson could be the answer for all of these.
Yeah.
Okay. This question. Let's see. This Nelson was in a breakdance crew called the South Seminole Breakers.
Brian Nelson.
Very good. He was, as I questioned him today, he's like, I don't know, man. Some of these might be a little hard. But he's like, but then again, she probably knows me well enough. She's going to get all these real easy. Okay. How about this Nelson? This Nelson is famous for smoking the marijuana.
Willie Nelson.
Correct. Very good. I don't know if the other Nelsons they smoke the marijuana, but he's the most famous one.
Yes.
Yes. All right. This Nelson was a competitive dart thrower from 1978 to 1982 and has 2 trophies from various tournaments from the southeastern United States.
Brian Nelson.
Jeez, you say it like you know it. All right. Let's see. In June 2015, this Nelson and his family appeared on ABC Television's Celebrity Wife Swap opposite Vince Neil of Motley Crue.
Gunnar Nelson?
Very good. Very good, very good. Now, let's see. This, we got that one. Okay. And this will be the final one. This Nelson has a tattoo on his left forearm that has the letters STF on it, which stand for School Trauma Flashback. What Nelson am I? You are correct. So way to go. So you did fantastic. You got all of them but one right. And if I had a prize to give you, I would.
Aww.
but it was still fun. So now I can say that you know your Nelsons.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yes, I thought I was thinking of Brian, and I'm like, how could I have fun utilizing Brian as fun for this episode when he wasn't going to be here? And then I figured, well, how well do you know your Brian Nelson? And you know him very well, so that's very good. So, all right, Angela, I want to thank you so very much for taking time out of your evening of relaxing to talk with me about Come and Shave It 12. And I just greatly appreciate you giving your time to me to have fun tonight. And I wish you guys great success with the event. And once again, I wish I could be there. And please rub it in as much as you guys can, because then that'll probably just force me to have to go next year.
Yes, you will definitely have to come next year. We will miss you this year. And Scott, thank you so much for inviting me to do this interview this evening.
Well, I hope you had fun. I mean, I try not to do a traditional interview.
It was a lot of fun.
You're just going to tell me the fun part was Know Your Nelson, right?
That was the best part.
Awesome, thanks. I put a lot of time into that, as I was waiting for the basketball games today, I'm like looking on my phone, I'm like, let's look up this Nelson. I've been actually working on this game for about a week now. So I spent more time working on the game than I did working on the questions for this interview. So
that's great.
That just goes to show you where my priorities are sometimes. I'm just like a goofball. So, but I want to thank you so very much for taking your time out again, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And I guess that will wrap it up there.
Thank you. You have a wonderful Valentine's Day too. And I wish your son the best of luck in all of his sporting events.
Oh, thanks. I hope he does so great that we have like 65 games every weekend. Thanks. You just want to now you just want to ruin my weekends now.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. I can only take so much sporting events, and I'm already sported out for the year, and it's only February. So, all right. Well, thank you again, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds great. Have a beautiful evening.
You too.
Bye.
And cut. Thank you so very much, Angela, for taking the time out to sit and talk with me about Come and Shave It 12 in Austin. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, and I can't wait to meet you and Tony in real lives, reels for reals. But yeah, it was awesome talking to you. Thanks for all the great information. Like I said, everyone, all the information is in the show notes. So all you got to do is just click on show information on whatever podcast you're listening to it on, and there'll be a link of all the different things we talked about. Or you can go to my blog. You can get to my blog by going to thebeardcaster.com/blog, and that blog will be up there, and there'll be pictures of all the people there and more information about the event, links to everything that we talked about in there, so you can easily go check out all that stuff. And there also is a lot of information about Come and Shave It 12. So if you want to check out all of that stuff before you go to the event, go to thebeardcaster.com/blog and look for more information there. Thank you again for subscribing, or thank you for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone that I've met out there. I can't wait to see everyone this coming weekend. It's going to be such a fun time. And I guess news to everyone, but as I was interviewing Angela and talking about how I was not going to Come and Shave It, things kind of changed. Once again, it always seems to be my luck that I get pressured into it. So I am going to Come and Shave It. So if by some chance you see me or I see you, come up and say hi. Go, hey, Beardcaster, you're cool. And I'll be like, thanks, dude. And I'll slap you on your back or whatever we do, bro hug, whatever. But, just make sure you come up and say hi, tell me how you're doing, let's talk, have a beer. Let's have a Lone Star, why not? When in Texas, do what the Texans do, drink the Lone Star. But I guess that's going to be all for today. I think so. I'm thinking through my head. And that's probably about it. So thank you, everyone, again. Have a safe trip. Don't forget, if you're using the lift when you're doing a trip, make sure you use promo code YourMom6969 because that's the only way you can save some money. So that'll be it for today. And thank you, everyone. And we'll catch you next week. Enjoy yourself this week. Do something awesome for someone. Give your grandma a hug. Give your uncle a high five. I don't know. Just do something. And don't forget to tell your friends about the Beardcaster. So we'll just leave it at that. And we'll talk to you next week. And ciao.